Good evening and welcome to Just the News. I'm Faye D'Souza. Let's get straight to our first story. Now, the Indian Medical Association, which is the association of doctors in India, has warned the central and the state governments that a third wave of COVID-19 is inevitable and has asked both central and state governments not to allow for tourism and pilgrimages just yet. Now, in a press release that the IMA put out, it said, and I quote, "With global evidence available and the history of pandemics, the third wave is inevitable and imminent. However, it is painful to note that in many parts of the country, both government and public are complacent and are engaged in mass gatherings without following COVID protocols. Tourist bonanza, pilgrimage travel, religious fervor are all needed, but it can wait for a few more months. Opening up these rituals and enabling people without vaccination to go scot-free into mass gatherings is a potential super spreader for a third wave of COVID," end quote. Now, this comes after videos have been doing the rounds on social media and photographs have emerged of people gathering in large numbers at tourist destinations and hill stations, and also after the Uttar Pradesh government decided to give an approval for the Kandahar Yatra, which begins on the 25th of July. Of course, the Indian Medical Association's warning should be heeded to very carefully. In the meantime, the Jharkhand Chief Minister, Himachal, has urged people to worship Lord Jagannath in their homes as the Rath Yatra will be cancelled this year because of COVID. The Rath Yatra, which is attended by lakhs of devotees, was also cancelled last year. As Himachal Pradesh continues to witness incessant rainfall, flash floods swept through Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand today. Viral videos show an overflowing Manji River in Dharamshala, wiping away nearly 10 shops in that area. Home Minister Amit Shah spoke with Himachal Pradesh Chief Minister Jairam Thakur on Monday to take stock of the situation due to the floods. In Shimla, the national highway near Jakri and in the Rampur area has been blocked because of heavy downpour. This is according to ANI. The state has been reeling under the threat of COVID, and a lot of people have actually been working out of Manali and Shimla and other parts of Himachal Pradesh. In fact, Himachal Pradesh Director General of Police actually on Saturday said that the work from home culture has now become the work from Himachal Pradesh culture instead. As the Taliban has acquired 85% of Afghanistan's territory, India has decided to temporarily close its consulate in Kandahar and send a special Indian Air Force flight to evacuate the 50 diplomats and security personnel of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police back to Delhi. According to the Hindu, officials said, "Our aim is to ensure that the Indian personnel are safe, and we felt there was a risk of fighting within the city that would endanger them," end quote. The personnel that have returned to Delhi on Saturday would be transported back if the situation improves, while some may alternatively travel to Kabul to continue their operations from the embassy if required. In politics, the Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma on Saturday said, and I quote, "A Hindu boy lying to a Hindu girl is also jihad, and the cabinet will bring a law against that as well." Saying that he has reservations against the term love jihad, he stressed that a Hindu man should also not cheat a Hindu girl, and it cannot be called love jihad only when a Muslim man cheats a Hindu girl. If a Hindu man cheats a Hindu girl, he will also be punished. We will work against such cheating, end quote. During the assembly election in Assam, the chief minister had used bringing a law against cheating in marriage as part of his manifesto. He said that we will bring a cow protection bill, a population bill, and a bill to ensure women are not cheated. He also said the government will not tolerate any woman being cheated by anyone, whether Hindu or Muslim. Appropriate action will be taken against such offenders to ensure safety and security of our sisters, end quote. On Sunday, the former Union Minister Thawarchand Gehlot took oath as the Governor of Karnataka, becoming the 19th Governor of the state. The former Union Minister of Social Justice and Empowerment, Gehlot was among the 12 members of the cabinet who resigned last week before the massive reshuffle that we reported. And coming out of Tamil Nadu, actor Rajinikanth on Monday announced that he has no plans of entering politics. And he dissolved his Rajini Makkal Mandram, which was an organization of his fan clubs that was meant to be a precursor to his political party. He made a statement and said, I had thought of starting a political party and getting involved in politics, but the timing of such was not possible. I have no intention of getting involved in politics in the future. I kindly inform you that the Rajini Makkal Mandram will function as a fan charity forum for the benefit of people. End quote. On to our COVID update, India reported 37,154 new cases and 350 deaths in the last 24 hours. The country's active caseload stands at 4.5 lakh. Maharashtra reported 8,535 new cases of COVID on Sunday. Kerala reported 12,220 new cases. Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu are states that are reporting higher numbers of COVID on a daily basis as well. So from these states, which is first Kerala, Maharashtra, and the few others in the south, there seems to be a small bump up in the number of cases reported daily. Some suggest that this might be something to watch over the next few days. Government data has also shown a dip in the average daily vaccination against COVID since the 21st of June. According to data available on the CoWIN portal of the government, an average of 61 lakh people or 61 lakh doses of the COVID vaccine was being distributed every week between June 21st and 27th. Then that number fell to 42 lakh in the subsequent week, and it has now fallen to 34 lakh doses in the week between July 5th and July 11th. Now, a falling of the number of daily doses of vaccination is really worrying because obviously we're looking at the possibility of the third wave. We're seeing people gather in large numbers, and so vaccinating a large number of people is sort of like a required run rate. If we achieve less and less every day, that required run rate only keeps going up, and the third wave may hit us before we have adequately vaccinated our population. In the ongoing tiff between Twitter and the government of India, Twitter has now appointed its resident grievance officer, Vinay Prakash. Now, this appointment comes after the previous grievance officer they had appointed, Dharmendra Chatur, quit after just 4 weeks. Twitter has also published its first compliance report. Now, this is for the period between May 26th and June 25th, for that first 1 month. It says it received 20 grievances of defamation and took action against 87 URLs. It also said it has suspended 18,385 accounts related to child sexual exploitation and non-consensual nudity, and a little over 4,000 accounts related to the promotion of terrorism. An update, of course, from the world of business and economy right now. Petrol prices have surged again. Not that anyone is counting, but the 40th time since May. People in Mumbai will be paying 107 rupees and 20 paise per litre for petrol. Delhi, Kolkata and Chennai are 101 rupees roundabout. In the meantime, the Union Minister for Road Transport, Nitin Gadkari, inaugurated the country's first commercial liquefied natural gas filling station in Nagpur on Sunday. And he said that this sort of alternate fuel will bring respite to people who are now pained by the surging price of petrol. He said, in our economy, we are spending 8 lakh crore rupees on the import of petrol, diesel and petroleum products, which is a big challenge. Being a nationalist, I want our imports to reduce and our exports to increase. Of course, no promise there on the bringing down of the tax that is really the lion's share of what we pay on petrol. Remember, about 40 rupees of what you pay out of the total 107 or 101 rupees is really the price of the fuel. Everything else is tax. On to news coming in right now from across the world. Indonesia, according to several reports, Indonesia is facing a severe oxygen crisis and hospitals are running out of beds because of COVID. The government is seeking emergency supplies from countries like Singapore and China. Indonesia, which is the world's fourth most populous country, is reporting more than 2.4 million infections, 64,631 fatalities from COVID. The country reported the highest toll of 1,040 deaths on Wednesday alone. Indonesia, remember, donated 3,400 oxygen cylinders and concentrators to India when we were battling the second wave. It seems to be now facing a very, very similar situation. An update from the world of science. For those of you who didn't catch it, Richard Branson and a 5-member crew of Virgin Galactic made their journey to space and back on the Virgin Galactic spaceship. 71-year-old and his team reached an altitude of 53 miles or 88 kilometers, witnessed the curvature of the Earth before safely gliding back to the runway and landing safely. While sharing a clip of himself and his team floating in space in the ship, he wrote, and I quote, "I was once a child with a dream of looking up at the stars. Now I'm an adult in a spaceship looking down at our beautiful Earth. The next generation of dreamers. If we can do this, imagine what you can do." End quote. All right, lots of updates from sports. Sunday was a big day for sports. Italy defeated England 3-2 on penalties at the Euro 2020. They won for the first time in 53 years. Now, there were over 60,000 spectators present. The sides drew 1-1 after extra time, and Italy then won the penalty shootout 3-2. England's players Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Bukayo Saka missed their spot kicks. What followed, though, was terrible racial abuse on social media of these players, who happen to all be black, by English fans. In fact, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on Monday condemned the racist abuse of these three players who had missed their penalties and said, and I quote, "Those responsible for this appalling abuse should be ashamed of themselves." England's Football Association also released a statement in the early hours of Monday condemning the online racist abuse of players as well. Meanwhile, videos are now surfacing which show the English fans attacking the Italian fans outside Wembley Stadium in London, where that final match was held. In the video, the British fans can be seen kicking, punching and hurling racial abuse at the Italian fans. In tennis, Novak Djokovic has won his 6th Wimbledon trophy and 20th Grand Slam, joining Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal as male players with 20 Grand Slam titles. He made a statement saying, and I quote, "This means none of the three of us will stop. Roger and Rafa are legends. They are the reason why I'm here today. They showed me what I needed to do to get stronger physically, tactically and mentally. Over the last 10 years, it has been an incredible journey that's not stopping here." Also, good news for Argentina. Lionel Messi's Argentina beat Brazil 1-0 in Saturday's Copa America final to secure the national team's first title in 28 years. In the 22nd minute, Argentina's winning goal came after Rodrigo de Paul made a long pass to Angel Di Maria. And of course, a visibly emotional Messi told reporters after the match that he was close many times, but he knew it would happen eventually. "I'm grateful to God for giving me this moment in Brazil against Brazil." Messi spoke of his relief of finally ending his trophy drought. And one piece of positive news before we leave you for today. Ladakh has become the first union territory to vaccinate all its citizens, including the migrant citizens who happen to be working there, with at least one dose of the COVID vaccine. According to official data, 89,404 people have received at least one dose. 60,000 people have been completely vaccinated. And this is really a feat given the terrain and the challenging extreme weather that the health teams had to tackle in order to make sure that every single individual in Ladakh is vaccinated. That brings us to the end of the bulletin. Thank you so much for watching. Here's a quick question. We know that Richard Branson's company with a 5-member crew flew an aircraft or spacecraft into space and back. What was the name of that spacecraft? That is your quiz for today. Thank you for watching. Good night.